$3.4 billion vanished overnight. Imagine being one of the 21,000 retirees who lost everything: their life savings, their dreams, their very security. One moment they felt safe, and in the next, it was all gone. One retiree watched in horror as the money they had worked a lifetime for simply evaporated into thin air. This was not just a financial mismanagement. This was the beginning of a collapse that would ripple through lives, families, and communities. At the center of this turmoil was Charles Keating, a man who cloaked himself in the guise of trustworthiness. He acquired Lincoln Savings and Loan, positioning himself like a guardian for the elderly depositors, leading them straight into a financial abyss. These were not just investments, they were their lifelines. And every smile he wore masked the truth. He was steering them into the treacherous waters of uninsured junk bonds, luring them with promises of safety that would crumble beneath them. How did it come to this? Keating's playbook was masterful. With a practiced hand, he directed the vulnerable, those who had already sacrificed so much, into dangerous waters, without revealing the risks lurking beneath the surface. This wasn't just a betrayal. It was a heist of trust, where the cost would be measured not just in dollars, but in shattered lives. But it didn't stop there. While the elderly invested their savings, Keating was busy strengthening his grip on power. A staggering $1.3 million in political contributions flowed into the coffers of 5 influential U.S. senators, a lobbying network entrenched in deception. This money bought silence and delayed federal intervention, allowing Lincoln Savings to sink deeper into the quicksand of fraud. Each dollar was a seed planted in the halls of power, growing a protective barrier around Keating at the expense of the public. Warnings about Keating's empire were being whispered, but they fell on deaf ears. Regulators, paralyzed by the influence of the Senate, hesitated, creating a false sense of security. Panic began to creep in as depositors learned the truth. Earlier warnings ignored, the depth of the betrayal slowly becoming apparent. Families were forced to reckon with a stark reality. Their dreams for comfortable retirements were slipping away, replaced by a haunting uncertainty. As the consequences began to materialize, the fallout was nothing short of catastrophic. Communities that had entrusted Keating's institution quickly learned that their trust was misplaced. Families faced an impossible choice: live with despair or take on the crushing weight of financial ruin. Each story represented lost hopes, broken family bonds, a fabric of society fraying at the edges. Then, the dam broke. The unthinkable happened as chaos erupted within Lincoln Savings. The fragile trust that held everything together shattered, and as more investors rushed to pull their money out, they faced an unbearable truth. Insolvency was imminent. Panic set in, and with it, the realization that they were not just witness to a scandal, they were victims of a grand deceiver. But the real twist lay hidden deeper. The Keating Five, those 5 senators who played a pivotal role, bore an inner truth that twisted the knife of betrayal deeper into the hearts of thousands. Their motives for protecting Keating added layers to an already convoluted narrative. Were they complicit, or simply pawns in an even larger game? As each minute passed, the collapse accelerated. The once mighty Lincoln Savings and Loan crumbled, and in the chaos, desperation and fear turned to outrage. People mobilized, demanding answers, desperately grasping for the truth that had been obscured by a network of deceit. Yet every answer they sought only unveiled a wider chasm of betrayal. The aftermath was grim. 21,000 retirees would never recover. Those financial futures were irrevocably changed. Dreams turned to dust in an instant. They had trusted the system, only to find that those meant to protect them became the architects of their downfall. The emotional weight of loss bore down heavily. It wasn't just about money. It was about justice lost and trust shattered. Imagine standing amidst the ruins of what was once a thriving community, where future retirements lay in tatters. The silent echoes of regret became deafening reminders of broken trust and lives irreversibly altered. What happens when you place your faith in the hands of those who exploit it? Ultimately, this is not just a tale of a financial collapse. It's a cautionary tale echoing through history, one that forces us to confront the very essence of trust we place in one another, and the devastating consequences when that trust is shattered.